Hello everyone to the demo for IDQ, which is Informatica Data Quality. Now talking about myself, I have approx 7 years of experience working in Informatica Power Center and Informatica Data Quality. In my current role, I am working on Informatica Data Quality and Data Governance as well. The various sectors on which I have worked is from insurance domain, healthcare domain, and manufacturing domain. Most of my clients were from US. To name few, they are like Eaton, Travelers, GE Healthcare, MetLife, and I do have experience of training more than 200 resources on Informatica Data Quality. If you see over here, we have splitted the entire training on 21 days. We would like to have our student enabled with the softwares on their own local system so that they can access it according to their ease of access. And that's why the first day will be guiding the students how to download the software to configure them. Documents will also be provided regarding steps to download, steps to configure the domain, and how to install the client. If any challenges are faced, that will be covered during our sessions. We will make sure that you have your system up and running with Informatica Data Quality. Next thing we move is we will have a brief overview of data warehousing. We will discuss about OLTP and OLAP concepts. We will discuss about Snowflake schema, star schema, different dimensions, granularity, confirmed dimensions. Whatever is related to data warehousing concepts, we will try to cover in this training. We will also discuss about different slowly changing dimensions, change data type. Then we will move to our case study. We will take big bazaar scenario. So we will have our dimensions and facts, which comprises of say employees table, customer table, date dimension, then product table, order table. All those will be created. The DDLs and required flat files will be provided so that you too can carry on development at your end. Now, if you see the day 4, that is one of the crucial part of our project. Our project will start with the profiling of data. We will profile our data to see data is present in your source system. When we talk about a data quality project, the first intent is to identify the data quality related issue. That can be done with the help of profiling. When we will be doing a demo on the tool, I will show you how a profile looks like, what all things we analyze from a profile point of view. Post that, we will move to few transformations like say parser, labeler, standardizer. These 3 transformations are related to your data quality transformations. They will help you to parse your data. So say in a particular column, you are getting data of first name, middle name, last name. And say in address column, you are getting city, state, country. And your requirement is to split this data. In that scenario, parser can come handy. Also, we can create certain rules in our parser. Say you want to put a rule to identify whether the provided mobile number is correct or not. We can create a regular expression. Over there, we will put a rule to identify whether the source data which is coming in satisfy our mobile number requirement. If it will satisfy the requirement according to our rule which we have created, then only it will pass the record for further processing. So that will be the use of parser transformation. Then we will talk about our labeler transformation. So it will help you to label your data. Like say if you want to check whether the name, first name doesn't contain any special symbol. In labeler transformation, we can create a strategy to replace all the special symbols with some character. Then we can compare our source data with our labeled data. Say if both the data matches, that means there wasn't any special symbol. But if say in my name Vishnu @ was present, after label it will be like Vishnu S. This both record will not match. This will help us to eliminate all the data quality issue related name data. So we can eliminate. Then standardizer transformation. Standardizer transformation is used to standardize your data. Say locations of a name. Someone can write uppercase M, uppercase R, whereas someone else can write uppercase M, lowercase r. So there can be various combinations. If we talk from company's perspective, so say someone is writing, say XYZ Private Limited. So someone is writing P.L.Td, or someone is writing it in expanded form. But in data warehouse, we want a standard format. So we will identify one pattern and we will change all the formats to one standardized format. We will do that with the help of a standardizer transformation. You can see expression, join, and lookup. So these are ETL related transformations. So whatever calculations and changing or analysis you wish to do, so you can do with the help of an expression transformation. And it has got lots of rules within it. So it has got functions like character-based functions, date-based functions, encoding-based functions. So based on our project requirement, we will see how we can implement those. So this expression transformation will be used in almost every mapping which we will create. Join transformation, it is similar to our SQL join. So there are 4 types of join. We will cover all of them. Then lookup transformation is something where say I want to pass a record. I will look up on that. Say I want to fetch customer details by passing customer ID into some other flow. What I will do is I will pass customer ID to lookup transformation, and from there I will fetch all other customer related information. And there are 2 types of lookup transformations. One is connected lookup and another is unconnected lookup. We will cover both kind of lookups in our training. Then we have many other transformations like router. It helps you to split data based on certain filter criteria. It gives you more than one group options. Now you are filtering data based on customer type. Customer type gold can go to one table, customer type silver will go to some other table, and bronze will go to some other table. So we can split our data with the help of router. Union, so union all can be done with the help of union transformation. Converter. So it is basically case converter. So you can convert your input string into uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, toggle case, or camel case. So 5 types of case converter can be implemented over here. Then we have sequence generator. Sequence generator will help to do is, say you have a target system and you do not have any primary key in it. You can create a sequence generator. You can create an extra port, and this sequence generator will help you to act as a primary key. So we call it as surrogate key, keyword name given to key which we are generating as a primary key. So that will also be covered in this training. Now if we talk about update strategy, so say if you want to update some record in your target system, at that point of time we are using update strategy. Then we have merge transformation will help us to merge 2 different strings together, and aggregator, whatever group by conditions we implement in our SQL queries, like say sum, average, minimum, maximum. So all those count, all those can be implemented with the help of aggregator transformation. Rank transformation is helpful when we want to rank our data. So we can rank based on ascending order, descending order. For those scenarios, rank transformation will come handy. Now this maplet rule and applications. So maplet is a reusable small chunk of a mapping. We create it and we keep it and we can implement it in multiple mappings. So you can call it as a function. So you will provide some input. It will do some sort of operations and will give results. So say if some sort of operations needs to be carried out in multiple mappings, we implement that particular set of instructions in maplet. Rule, it is similar to maplet, but it cannot contain active transformations. IDQ, we have active and passive transformations. What an active transformation is? Where your number of records will change when it is passing through a transformation. Say, take an example of a filter and you are filtering on certain criteria. So say if you are passing 100 records to a filter transformation, only 50 records are matching your filter criteria. So the output from filter transformation will be only 50. So these kind of transformations are called active transformations. All active transformations cannot be implemented in rule. That's why we have maplet. And application. So application is a placeholder for our mapping. Whatever mapping we will create, we will deploy it as an application. And then these applications are scheduled, and you can schedule these applications in your control and AutoSys different scheduling tool, or even you can schedule them in Informatica Scheduler. So we do have inbuilt scheduler in our Informatica Administrator page, and we will see how we can schedule these jobs in our Informatica Administrator. So that is also part of this training. Next set of transformations are key generator, match, classification, and consolidations. The set of this key generator, match, and consolidation transformation is useful when we want to create a golden copy out of some set of data. My name is Vishnu Goyal. When I am purchasing a product from Kolkata, at that particular store, I filled a form of customer details and I have given my name as BG. Then I went to Mumbai and I have given my name as Vishnu G. And in Bangalore, I have given it as B Goyal. Vishnu Goyal is single customer who has used service from 3 different locations. Now, this company is going to have 3 customers when they will consolidate this data. They need to identify, see, this is a false information because they are not reaching 3 different customers. They want to take out a golden copy which says that, okay, Vishnu G, B Goyal and BG, all these 3 are single entity and they will combine and they will give me a single record which will be like Vishnu Goyal. And then it will contain my other informations like phone number, date of birth, and other details. These things can be implemented with the help of key generator, match, and consolidation transformation. We will implement this scenario with the help of case study data which we have for our training. Now, classification and association. So, association is similar to match transformation. The only thing is it creates a bigger group. So, say if you are using 2 columns for match transformation, if both the columns data will match, then only it will form a group. But in association transformation, if either of the column data will match, it will form a group. Same data when you pass through mesh transformation, it can form a group of 2 records, whereas in association, it might form a group of 3 to 4 records, depending on the type of data which we have. And classification is to classify your data. We talk about a mobile company where we have mobile descriptions provided. So we have a database where we have different mobiles, like we have Apple, we have Nokia, we have Samsung, we have MI, and we have given certain description. Data is coming in your system where you are getting only description of mobile. So you will compare this description with your classification model, which you already have in your system, and you will try to identify based on classification which kind of mobile it is. If the classification matches with MI, and it's not necessary that it has to match 100%. So it will give you result in terms of 0 to 1. Say if it matches 50%, then it will give you a score of 0.5. That this classification matches with MI mobile to an extent of 50%. So this way you can classify your data. Exception. So this is also an interesting part which was brought into IDQ. So what we do in exception is, say you are having some data coming in from your source and you are splitting your data into 3 different categories. One is rejected. That means it doesn't meet your requirement. Second category is accepted. That means the data quality is very good and you want to send it to your target system. But there is a range of data which falls between the rejected and accepted. That means data is not too bad to be rejected and it is not even too good to be accepted. So this kind of data needs certain corrections. And for this we have Informatica Analyst, where we can create a task. Task will contain 50 records and this records needs few corrections. So we will have data steward in our team who will look into this data. They will correct the data and they will send it back again tomorrow for reinsert into your target system. So for those kind of scenario, we create exception transformation, and along with exception transformation, we will use human task, which is a functionality of workflow. You see, there are 2 days dedicated for workflow. So we will cover all the functionalities of workflow, like creating human task, creating your mail task, creating your command task, how you can arrange your mappings in sequence, in parallel or in sequence. So there are exclusive gateway, inclusive gateway, which are component of workflow. So all those things will be covered. Then we will move to analyst. So analyst has also got some development functionality. Like in analyst, you can create a physical data object, a reference table, a profile, then mapping specifications, rules. So these are the things which you can create in analyst. Apart from this, whatever we have created things in our developer, they will also be visible in our analyst. Not the mapping and applications and workflow, but reference table, physical data object, profile, and scorecards. Okay, so those things we can access through analyst as well. So just in some time, I will move to analyst page and I will walk you through those contents. Another thing that we will cover in our training is log analysis and performance tuning. So say whenever you are executing a mapping, some logs are getting generated. Now say if there is a failure or your mapping is taking lots of time, so we need to know how we can analyze our logs, improve the performance of our mapping. So those things will be covered. Now if you see on 18th and 19th, we will be creating 4 mappings, which will be covering different data warehousing concepts, which includes SCD type 1, SCD type 2, SCD type 3, and change data management. So when I say SCD type, it says slowly changing dimension. And these are like implemented in every project, because what happens is over a period of time, your data might change. So there are 3 ways to handle it. One way is you will maintain complete history. Another way is you will not maintain any history. There is the third way where you will maintain limited history. So that's why they are categorized into type 1, type 2, and type 3. So we create mapping for all these 3 types, and we will see how these things are implemented in real-time project. Then we will have change data management, where we maintain our data with 4 different flag values, like whether the data is new. So we maintain the flag for new data as insert. For updated data, we maintain the flag as update. For data which coming yesterday and same data is coming today without any change, for that particular data, we maintain the flag as null, and fourth flag is D. That means that data was not present today, but it was there yesterday. So we no longer want to keep track of that particular record because it is no longer coming into our system from today onward. So these 4 flags, how they change over a period of time, how this needs to be implemented, All these things will be done with the help of Informatica Developer tool. We will implement this mapping from end to end, and then we will have a question and answer round where we will clear all the doubts. I will be giving a brief introduction of our tool, IDQ tool. Okay, walkthrough of the tool, a sample mapping, and walkthrough of administrator, which is a bit of admin part, walkthrough of analyst, which is part of data steward, and all those things will be covered in this demo. If we talk about how we will be progressing through our data quality, so we will be covering all the three parts which we were discussing just prior to this. So we will cover the admin part. So in admin part, we will be configuring 4 services: model repository service, data integration service, content management service, and analyst service. So you need all these 4 services for your tool to be up and running to help you to do all the stuffs you want to do. So this will be covered. We will also cover creation of users for our analyst tool. Then we will create connections where we will keep our relational objects, and we will also look into monitoring part and scheduling part. So all those is part of admin. We will go to developer tool where we will create mapping, applications, profiles, scorecards, and workflows. So all the components which needs to be developed within IDQ developer will be covered. Next is analyst, where we will cover all the development from analyst point of view, as well as the exception and review task and scorecard. So scorecard helps you to see the performance of your day over a period of time. It will also give you trend chart. Say on day 1 you had, out of 100 records, you had 30 records which were not of good quality, so you rejected them. So they were not satisfying your data quality rules. Now over a period of time, say these 30 records will reduce to 20, 15, 10. So you are fixing the data quality issues with your record. So it will show you an increasing chart. The trend of your data quality is increasing. So those things can be analyzed from scorecard. Apart from that, we already discussed all the 3 slowly changing dimensions and change data management capture. This will be covered during our, so we will do hands-on on all these steps. If we talk about the market scenario in respect of Informatica data quality, so like Informatica data quality is having a very big presence and thousands of companies are using it. It has got a very good job market. Just if you update your profile that you are an Informatica developer, you will see emails start flowing into your email ID that openings are there, please appear for interview and all. Every time you search, at least you will get 50 plus openings in the market. Content for learning. So Informatica has their KB documents. So wherever you face challenges, you can just refer the KB documents. Whatever error you see in your log, you can just search with those options with the code of the error, and you will see that some response is already provided. And there are so many communities which are adding responses to those. It is very easy to debug and content is easily available in the market. If we talk about integrating the data quality, there are various systems with which, like almost every system, it is even integrable with Hive and Hadoop. So that is not part of this training. We will be covering like relational objects and flat file objects. So flat file objects of any kind, say CSV or pipe delimited, tilde delimited. If you talk about JSON format, XML format, everything can be integrated with data quality. That's why it can require any system integration. The best part of this data quality tool is, prior to this, we also have Informatica Power Center. So the ability of Informatica Power Center is only ETL work. But this data quality has got the boost from ETL as well as the data quality. So you have all the ETL transformations and data quality transformations as well. You have in your profile like Informatica data quality, then say Informatica Power Center is already considered done. So if there is a requirement of Informatica Power Center and you have experience on Informatica data quality, you can easily apply for Power Center as well with a bit of brush up. If we talk about certification, so there are 3 types of certifications, but from developer point of view, the certification which is available is Data Quality 10 Developer Specialist Certification. Informatica provides you 2 attempts to clear this certificate, and when you enroll yourself, they also provide you the guidance and few training materials so that you get yourself prepared for your certificate. Some random topics of the course. So profile. What is the profile? Profile is the analysis of your data, and it gives you profiling based on 4 parameters: value, then data type, then pattern, and the 4th is statistics. So you get to see how much number of null values are there, what is the percentage of null value, what is the percentage of distinct value. Take a simple example. I want to profile a data which was provided by my client And now the few questions from my client are: identify all the columns which has got data quality issues, and also tell me what are the data types which should be good enough to move this data across the system. Third question is, what would be the primary key? So simply after doing profile, what you will look for is there any column which has got 100% distinct values? If you get any column, you say, okay, this column qualifies to be your primary key. But if there is not a single column, you can create a combination of column. Even then, if you are not getting any proper result for your primary key, you can bring in your sequence generator and put in an extra column and make it as a primary key. So that is up to us, and it is a discussion between client and implementer team, how they want to take it forward. And another moving your data from flat file to database. So this is one of the normal or basic requirement of a client, that from across various systems they are receiving data in terms of flat file, but it is very difficult to analyze data on flat files. So they want it to be in some database. So it's a very simple mapping which you will see in some time. Just put in a flat file and pass it to your database, it will load the data. And analyst walkthrough that we will be into project that we will demonstrate. From day one itself, we will have a mindset of a project. So this entire training is ideally a project in a real-time environment. We will have our dummy data, we will have all the tables that are related to say Big Bazaar, where we have customer table, we have employee table, we have store table, we have date dimension, then we have product table, and finally we have order table. And combining all these tables, we will implement each and every transformations into various scenarios as per business requirement, and this training will move ahead. And ultimately, we will end up creating 3 SCD types and 1 change data capture. System requirement. So the system requirement is you should have at least 20 GB of space and 8 GB of RAM. OS, you can have any Windows 8 or 10, not a problem. If you have RAM 16 GB, it would be a bit faster. In 8 GB, it is a bit slow. Project execution, so this will be done, as I mentioned, on everyday basis. Say I am taking an example of labeler transformation. So I will bring in data from my Big Bazaar tables, which I will be discussing from our case study, and we will label data from that particular example. Similarly, if I want to implement standardizer, so I will have some data quality issues captured in my flat files from my project folder, and then I will implement my standardizer transformation on that particular file. So it is entirely a project from end to end of our case study. So lab setup, as I said, 8 GB of RAM, any Windows OS, and hard disk is, if you have 50 GB, that is fine, 100 GB is very good. IDQ says 20 GB, but the thing why we want 50 GB is, after extracting the files, it increases its length. So at same time, you will have your zip files and extracted files, setup files, so it will exceed 40 GB. So better to have data space. Additional resources which will be provided during the training is all the documents, as I said, for configurations and useful references. Say if there is some useful link where you have a detailed description of certain scenarios, those will be provided. Sample resumes will be provided. Installation guide will be provided. Sample output for transformation. Why do we provide this? So as we are talking about this IDQ software, this is a licensed version by IDQ. But to have a more number of resources in the market easily available, they have provided a limited part of it on free version. So there are still few things which you cannot execute from your free version, but you can configure them. We have captured screenshots from our earlier sessions. We had our resources having their company's license. Entire configurations will be shown. Everything will be shown from the developer tool. Only the results will be seen through screenshots, and those are well documented, and those will be shared across. I will move to the tool part and will demonstrate all the things that we were talking about. So first I would like to go to administrator. So this is screen, okay, domain, where it will say what all services are up and running. Okay, so if you can see over here, DIS stands for data integration service, CMS is content management service, analyst service, and a bit down there will be model repository service. By the time it comes up, let us discuss about profile. So this is developer tool will look like. Okay, so we will have to configure our model repository service, and then we will configure it over here as well in our client. The one which we were talking here, this is admin, and this tool is our client. So under your model repositories, you can create multiple projects. So say this demo is my one of the sample projects, and this profile is one which we have created. So the easiest way to create profile is just right click on your data object and click on profile. There are three types of profile which we will create. We will discuss in details each one of them. But the one which I have created is the column profile, which is a normal profile. Once you click on profile, you click on next, and you whatever name you wish, you can provide it over here. Then there are few configurations which we will discuss, like if you want to put in any filter, then if you want to change the run settings, then there are drill down options. So all those things we will change and we will click on finish. So once we click on finish, the profile will run and it will give us result. So see over here, all the columns from our source is here, and whichever column I will click, it will give me result over here on 4 different parameters. Values. So it is giving us, say, this particular value is repeated twice and it occupies 8% of total data. It has got null, which is occurring only once. So based on value, you will see the results. Then pattern. Say 9 times, this 9 of 9 says that a digit 9 is repeated 9 times. A digit is repeated 9 times. So 9 is the representation of a digit. X is representation of an alphabet. And uppercase S is the representation of special symbols. So it is giving you pattern like X4 means 4 characters have been there in SSN number. So it will give you different pattern. Now seeing this, we can say that since SSN number should only be of 9 digit, then all the remaining are having data quality issues and this should be eliminated. So this helps us to identify those kind of issues. Statistics, it helps us to identify maximum length, minimum length, top 5 and bottom 5 based on your sorting. Okay. So it gives us the statistics on that. Data types. So IDQ infers data type and it says you that if you put this particular column as date data type, only one record will match the criteria. If you put it as decimal, 21 record will match the criteria, which is 87% of total record. So seeing from various options, we have to identify which data type suits our requirement and we will pick up that and we will implement in our mapping. Okay. So you can see the mapping results, profile results for each and every column. So that is how a profile result looks like. And it also gives you an option to download the profile result. So once I click on this folder, I have the option of all files. I'll just click on browse. Say I will click on desktop and I will save. So it will download it and we can provide our comments in this particular Excel and share it across with our client to get feedback. And accordingly, we can go ahead with our negotiations. So let this download. I will open the file and show you how it looks like. Meanwhile, let me see. Okay, this is the login page of your administrator. Yes, our file is exported. Let me go to desktop. So this is the file which got downloaded. So see, the results which we were seeing from profile results in our developer tool, same kind of result is available over here. So for customer ID, it says 22 unique values, which is 88% of it. And it can be of the input data type is integer. What is the percentage of inference? That is 100%. Okay. So this kind of analysis can be seen over here. If you want to see the values will be in values set, pattern. So you see all the patterns are provided over here. Then whatever was the input data type that can be seen from here and statistics can all be seen. So whatever results we were trying to see from our developer tool is exported in an Excel and this can be shared across team to provide their comments. Now our developer analyst part is up. So these are the 4 services which we will configure: MRS, DIS, CMS and analyst. Apart from this, we will also configure few connections which will be required for these services and for placing our database tables in Oracle. Okay. And I was talking about schedules. So if we go to schedule tab, we can schedule our jobs over here. So see, these are the few sample jobs which have been scheduled. So these things will be covered during our training. So see, the schedule it says runs the last day of month, effective from, and all the things you have the options like on which day of the month you want to run it, how many times in a week you want to run it, after how many runs you want to stop it. Okay, so all those kind of things is possible to configure over here. Then you have this monitor tab where you can monitor the execution of your mappings and workflows, that how they are executing, and everything related to monitoring can be done from there. We will also have a bit of flavor of admin part. So here you have like summary statistics and execution statistics. So execution statistics is one which will show us all the deployed applications. And once we click on that particular application, we can go and see what is the statistics of that particular application, when it was executed, whether it was successful or not. This is the data integration service under which all the applications are there and we can see them. Now let us talk about analyst tool. So to access analyst, we have to go through analyst services. Over there will be a URL. Okay. So once I click on analyst test service, there will be a URL. You can keep it handy. So at a later point of time, you can directly hit the URL. The URL will come up over here. Yeah. So this is the URL. Once I click on this URL, by default, it will log me in as an administrator privilege. And if you want to create some other users, you can create it and you can log in with those users. I was talking about exception and review task. So when you will log in, if there is any task assigned to you, it will appear over here. Okay. And this analyst provides you two options. Either you can create something or you can open. So if you see from new tab, you have options of creating flat file, data object, profile, mapping specifications, and reference table. And if I click on open, whatever we have created in our developer tool from these categories, they will be seen over here. When I say the data object, so all the data objects which have been created across various projects can be seen over here. Okay. And same thing is for profile. So currently we were talking about profile, which name was profile customer underscore demo. So this can be seen over here. Let profiles get loaded. Profile customer demo. Okay. So you can see the profile results over here as well. All those things will be covered. So it is like a complete package of a bit of admin, administrator, and developer, and analyst. It is combined course on all those three parts of IDQ. If you see over here heading null. So in customer ID there are 0 records which are null. 88% of the records are distinct. Okay. And it is giving you the minimum value as 1, maximum value as 26. Pattern, see, it is showing us when we hover over here, so it gives us the pattern, then length of the data, then the different data types. So all those things can be seen from here as well. So you have multiple options whether you can see the profile results from your developer tool or from analyst. So that was all from my end. If you have still any questions, you can write back to us and we will be happy to help you with any questions and feedback. Thank you everyone.